right, hi everybody. Today I'm gonna be doing my own tier list. After Pride Wins tier list and has been out since yesterday, I kind of wanted to give my opinion on the characters, and obviously this is gonna be biased. It's gonna be my own subjective opinion from mostly from the abilities, how they seem to play and work together, the kind of feedback I've had from people telling me their opinion, watching them play, because I haven't had a chance to get my hands on the game yet. So this is not gonna age like fine wine at all, I assume. But that said, I kind of want to. This is not gonna be a try hard meta tier list, okay? Let's keep in mind what meta means. Meta means the most efficient way to play, right? So this is not gonna be necessarily the most meta tier list. This is gonna be kind of a mix between what we know is strong and what I think some people might be sleeping on a little bit, right? And I might be proven wrong in the future, but that's okay. I'm fine. It's not a big deal if I make a mistake. I'll just update it in the future. So before we get to it, I do want to remind you guys that I will be running some giveaways during the live stream of Wuthering Waves when it comes out tomorrow. For every 1 hour of streaming, I will be giving away one Lunite subscription to one of you guys. All you need to do to participate is to follow me on twitch.tv/KittyKathee and to join the Discord, which is discord.gg/KittyKathee. All right, now let's get to the actual topic, which is the tier list. I'm going to go from left to right, and I'll just get there. So there's this character here. I don't know who she is. I'm not gonna. I don't know, so I'm gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna put the female rover. So the rover, I think, honestly, the rover is gonna be pretty good. I think the MC has the very just have a lot of good things about them. They have some sustain, they have decent AoE, they have a very good outro skill. I think they kind of have a bit of everything and they just feel very comfy. And for an MC, it's surprising to have a character this good. I think in terms of viability, they might struggle a little bit in the current meta, I suppose. Not really meta, but like I find it more difficult for her to fit in a team than other characters. But I think, like, I will say, I don't think she has necessarily amazing synergy with other characters, but she can fit well enough in most teams. She's gonna be a decent sub DPS hybrid character, whatever you want to call it. She's gonna be here, she's gonna do the job, and obviously you get all of her sequences for free, which is awesome. And for a character that is pretty good, this is actually amazing. This is a new standard. This changes everything in the gacha main character formula that we've seen so far. And this is great. I actually think the rover deserve the A rank, unironically. I think they're that good. Some people would say B because they're pretty good, but there it is. But I actually put her higher because of all of the fact that, like, she's free. You get her from like second one of the game launching, and I think the fact that, like, one of the best 5-star weapon at the moment is gonna be the sword, which is for her as well, it's just fantastic. The end. That's it. You can slap her anywhere and she's gonna do her work. Next, Shiksha. I think the problem with Shiksha, in my opinion, is that she's struggling a little bit when it comes to her damage output. She has a lot of channeling abilities. She channels some of her abilities, and so she's prone to getting interrupted. She's a range unit. Range units do not have a easy way to parry because they can't. So yeah, I feel like this is a bit rough. That said, she's kind of okay. I think she's gonna be okay in the early game. She's a free character, so there's always that. But I think in terms of priority, she's not probably going to be the character you're looking forward to upgrade the most. So I'm going to put her in C rank. There it is. Next, I think her name is Yang Yang. I might butcher some names because I'm still having some troubles remembering everything, so who knows. But Yang Yang. I think Yang Yang is a little bit slept on. I see a lot of people thinking that she's either D rank or C rank, and I'm honestly going to put her in B rank. The reason why is that, honestly, she has a lot working for her. And what I mean by that is that, yes, her DPS is not outstanding. Yes, she connects support as well. Like, she doesn't have the sustain that Baiju provides. She doesn't have the massive, like, damage increase that Verena has, for example. And that's her biggest drawback. It's that the lack of damage upgrade on her auto skill. That said, she does have energy regen for the team, and that is very, very good. And on top of that, she has some grouping abilities, which is very nice when you're fighting a lot of enemies, and especially on the overworld. It's gonna be very handy. So I think, yeah, she might struggle on very high difficulty content, but I think that she is gonna be pretty good for just quality of life character. I think she's really going to bring a lot to the table, and I think a lot of people will enjoy her quite a lot, especially in the early game, especially for the overworld, and especially because she's free. So I think she's pretty good. I would definitely put her above Shiksha. Because Shiksha, I mean, it's kind of the unfair thing, right? Like, a mediocre DPS is gonna feel worse than a mediocre healer or support or hybrid sub DPS, whatever you want to call it. That's how it is. There's a reason why, for example, in Star Rail, Natasha was like considered very good for a long time until she got absolutely power crept on. But like, Orlan was never good, let's put it this way. So moving on, we have Verena. Verena is top tier. She's OP. She's too strong. But she's kind of boring in my opinion. I don't really like her design. I'm not a big fan of her playstyle and whatnot. But she's up here. It is what it is. I think you gotta keep in mind that she's the first 5-star support. And while she's still probably going to be good because she has that very global buff, the thing is that she has a little bit of everything, right? And honestly, it's hard to imagine like a support in the future that's just going to be straight up better, because like, I feel like she has a bit of everything, but it's strong, and that's the thing. She has a lot of everything. So unless it's like to fully power creep her by bringing a unit that is incredibly OP and is even stronger at everything, I doubt she will be useless, because I feel like she's simply... He's too useful on too many fronts. She could be power crept in specific roles if like we have a character that buffs more than her or a character that heals more than her. But overall, she has such a good baseline that I feel like she's probably going to be future-proof for at least a few patches. At the very least, a few patches. So yeah, that's my thought on her. Yeah, the thing is, like, even if we have to compare to like a Star Rail character, she's not even a Luocha. She's better than a Luocha, and that's the thing. She feels more like a Huo Huo maybe, right? Because Huo Huo is the damage buff and energy recharge gives. But yeah, so that's why it feels like it's gonna be tough to power creep her. But I mean, they don't have to, of course. Next, Sanhua. So here, Sanhua, she's a free character, which is a point in her favor. She's very, very cool. I think she's very strong. I think actually, in terms of damage-wise, she can actually get very, very high. She's some of the highest potential DPS in the game. I think her game style is very cool. It can be very fun. And it feels... I think her gimmick is fun, like placing the multiple ice shards on the ground, making them detonate, make them explode, and inflicts a lot of damage on the opponent. I think it's pretty cool. She does have a buff when with her outro skill, which is pretty cool as well. She buffs like basic attack. So overall, I think she's a very good character. I think she's actually probably good enough for A rank, especially considering she's only a 4-star character. She's free. It's probably going to be easier for her to get sequences because right now the pool of characters is smaller, just like in Genshin. Everybody has Shangling C6, almost. Everybody that started day one has Fischl, Shangling C6, etc. And I feel like she's going to be similar. We're probably going to get a lot of her sequences in the early games. So yeah, I would say she's going to be pretty good. The only downside for her potentially is that, and she has some long animation at times, and you just need to learn how to use her properly to cancel your animations to make her even better. Next, we have this guy. My problem with this guy is that first of all, his look is just not for me at all, and he's like a defense scaling unit. He has a tower. I think he's okay. Honestly, my reasoning for not putting him in D rank is because he's a defense scaling unit and he has like decent off-field damage. You can actually put your trash echo on him. Because okay, most people are not gonna use defense. It's like, how to say it? One person's trash is another's treasure, right? And like, you're gonna see an echo with defense percentage, and you could be like, oh, this is so bad. Oh my god, wait. I can put that on Yuanwu. Oh, yo, suddenly it's a good piece. So that's why I would say, like, because it does have some good benefits, and you can actually put on to use some of the pieces that you don't want on any other character, I think he has that little bit of value. So I'll put it in C rank. Next, I'm gonna talk about Baiji. I think Baiji is actually gonna be pretty good. She's a healer. That's it. She's just a healer. She's a good buffer. She is essentially she's a Verina. She's a weaker Verina. There it is. So she does what Verina do, but worse. Doesn't mean she's bad. She's just not as strong as Verina. But I think, and especially for the release of the game, right? Like, if she came out 5 months from now, that would be pretty bad. Because she's coming out right now, and there's basically only 2 healers, basically. There's some technicality, but yeah, basically. Straight up healer, let's put it this way. I think she's gonna rank up very high. She might end up being the Natasha and blah 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 and Bailu or whatnot. But for now, I think she's gonna be very useful. If you don't have Verina, you're gonna want to build her. Even if you have Marina, you might want to end up building her. She's gonna be free as well, so that's nice. Also, I kind of forgot Yuanwu is gonna be free too. I don't know if I said so, but yeah, there it is. I think she's gonna be very good. I think a lot of people are gonna find a lot of use with her, especially when you're beginning the game, especially for people who are not necessarily used to quote-unquote that amount of difficulty in the game, in a gacha game. Having a healer is going to be good for a lot of beginners and even people who are starting to get used to the game. So I think she's going to be very good. Next, we have Encore. Encore, I think, is a A-tier character. I think she's going to be one at the top of the A-tier. Yeah, let's actually put them in order. Oh, this is tough. Those two are kind of equivalent. I'm gonna leave it here. I would probably put Yuanwu in front of Chiksha. There we go. So Encore, regardless of what you want to call it, Encore, I think is going to be very good. She has potentially some of the highest DPS in the game. Her heavy attack with Wooly is incredible. The problem is that she has a lot of very long animation. You need to learn how to cancel, switch, and do all of those things to really maximize her ability. It can be a bit awkward to get used to the switching from range to melee DPS, and she can feel a bit worse because as a range unit, she doesn't have access to parry when she's not ulting, right? So there's going to be some getting used to. I think she might have a higher ceiling than other characters, but I think she's going to be very good. And I mean, eventually we're going to get a character that's going to be a dedicated support for her, I'm sure, and that's going to be great. So she has good potential, and especially looking forward to future patches. That's my opinion. Next, Taoki. No, that's not Taoki. Is it Taoki? This is Taoki. Taoki. Oh, Taochi. I don't know. Whichever. This girl. The problem with this girl is just she's a tank. That's it. I think this game is just not good for tanks. The problem is that she kind of tanks, she kind of heals, and she's just not as dedicated. I feel like, why would you want a tank that's gonna like be on the field? I don't know. She feels slow. She feels awkward, and I don't like her. So I'm gonna put her here. It's too bad because I really like how she looks, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope she's gonna feel amazing. I hope she's gonna feel so good. Maybe they change some part of her and she's gonna be a fantastic. But right now I'm having issues. I almost want to put her here just because I feel bad about it. And she looks good, but I don't think I will. Alright, next. I have this lady here, Danjin, I believe. Danjin is incredibly powerful. Danjin is gonna be very good if you know how to play her. And I think the high risk, high reward gameplay is very nice. But, and there's a but to me, is that for most people, she's gonna be rough, and I can't recommend new players coming to the game or beginners getting into the game to start and try to build her, because she is gonna be very punishing. And that's why I said that this list is not catered necessarily to the pro gamers, to the top of the top. This is a bit of a more for everyone kind of tier list. And taking this into consideration, I don't really feel like putting her in A. I think I'm going to put her in B, and even beyond Yang Yang, because I think Yang Yang is going to be easier to play and it's going to provide more to the average player. So I'm going to put her down here. Don't come scream at me. Don't get me cancelled. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry. But yeah, I'll put her here. Yeah, there it is. So next, we have Alto. Alto kind of looks cool. He has kind of like that Mist clone tank thingy. I think the problem with his gameplay that is kind of like it's a bit restrictive, because you create those gates, you have to go through them, you got to shoot through them. It deals more damage, but the thing is like, when I'm fighting, I kind of want to focus on what I'm doing, and the fact that he doesn't have a parry, that he has to play through those things, and I don't think the rewards you get from that is that great. So it doesn't feel like you get rewarded as much for going through the gimmick, I suppose. So it's not for me, and I don't really like his look, so I don't even feel like putting him higher. So yeah, I'll just leave him here. There it is. I'm sorry. Get out of here. Next, Mortifi. Mortifi I think is very good. I think Mortifi is going to be very, very good. He is pretty strong. He can have pretty decent damage. He is a massive buffer. He's kind of similar to Sanhua here. Sanhua can buff basic attack, he can buff heavy attack, and that's going to make him a very good support for heavy attack reliant units that we do have, like Jinyan, I believe. Jian, sorry. So yeah, I think he's going to be very good. He has good buff, good damage, and he has coordinated attacks. So like when he's outside of field, he can still like be a nuisance for the enemy. Next, we have Ling Yang. My problem with Ling Yang is that he's all over the place. He has aerial combat, but when you're in the air, you can only dodge once, which makes him feel more vulnerable, which I really don't like. He's really not for me. I don't like his design either. I'm really sorry. And I think, sadly, I'm actually going to put him down here. That said, he's probably at the top of it because he actually has good damage. And I'm sure if you get used to him and his shenanigans, you can very likely make him okay. But I'm a bit worried. This is the only 5-star permanent character that I do not want. I don't want to lose. I don't want to get him. Please don't do that to me. Please, please, please. You know what? I love him. I love him. Please don't make me play him. The end. Okay, next. Jian. Jian is very good. He's very strong. He's currently probably the strongest main DPS in the game. I think he's going to be very good. I think he's going to be very comfy. He has a lot of AoE. He's very ulti-centric, but I don't think he's the worst in the world. You just got to gear properly. It's not going to be too hard. If you're worried about your energy, you also have Yang Yang that's going to get you some energy, so you can pair them together if you want. Like, you could probably go like Jian, Mortefee, Yang Yang, and you have like kind of your support, buffer, energy recharge, and you're gonna make it work. That's it. Especially with her amount of grouping, that it's all gonna be working together well. And I think his flaws can be remedied by how you build your team and how you gear the characters. So I don't think that's gonna be a fatal flaw, far from it. And I think most people are gonna enjoy him quite a lot and gonna appreciate having him in their account. So there it is. Next, we have this lady, and I think I'm gonna put her above Jian. She does not have as much damage as Jian, I would say, or like as easy to play. I think Jian is easier to play because she has a lot of animation cancel you need to do. You want to do some switch cancels and stuff like that. She also has AoE. She's less ulti reliant, so that's good by comparison. But also, she has buffs. She can buff her teammate. She will buff electro damage, which I think makes her more viable for future. She's more future-proof. Because anytime they're going to release a new electro character, a new electro DPS, she's going to be able to be slotted in their team and buff them. So I think I will put her higher than Jian for that specifically. Because I think a lot of people are going to enjoy having her as a main DPS if they want to. She does enough damage for that, but she can also be used as a support for Calcaro or for future Electro DPS, and that's very, very nice to have. Next, we're talking about Calcaro. He's here. I'm gonna put him in the A rank, the A tier, sorry. I think he's pretty good. That said, he's single target. He's kind of ulti reliant. He has some slow animation, so you need to cancel. He can be kind of risky to play, and that's why it's kind of hard to put him on the same pedestal as Jian. He's gonna suffer a bit from that, and I think you might want to. You got to be a bit more careful. That said, he has good damage. He's very good with Yinlin as well, so I don't think you're gonna regret it. But he's not as plug and play as Ji-Yun can be. So that's why I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him behind Encore because I'm biased. Deal with it. Next, Jiang Xin. So Jiang Xin is... She's jack of all trade, master of none. But that's still better than doing a single thing only. And, well, it kind of depends. But I think... I mean, I like... A lot of people have been shitting on her. Me too. That said, I think she has a lot to bring to the table. I think even if she can be a bit rough around the edges, she still has a lot to bring. She can play multiple roles. She has versatility. And they did say they were going to make her better, and I do want to believe in them. So if she's still exactly as she was in CBT2, maybe she would be top C tier. But even then, I'm almost tempted to put her higher. And if they did actually do changes, I think she's definitely going to be fit. Top B tier, maybe A. At least, maybe higher. But for now, I'm going to put her here. Potentially here, because I think she's going to be more versatile. And she's going to be easier to play. So I think she's going to be around here. So I'll put her in the B tier. I think this is where she's going to be nice. I think a lot of people can enjoy her. Even if her damage is lower than other characters that are like DPSs and stuff. Even if she feels a bit rough. And yeah, you can't maximize fully a team with her in it or whatever. I think she's going to bring comfort to everybody. She can be a little venti. Her ultimate has a lot, and I mean a lot of gather power, so that's awesome. So I'll put her actually in B tier. I think she's better than people make her out to be, and I think the average player is going to enjoy her presence. So there it is. That's my thoughts on the topic. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you want to go for. And I hope this was helpful because I want to make sure that people can understand how this character works. And just because a character is not going to be absolute meta doesn't mean that they are bad, and doesn't mean that they can't be played at all. And sometimes a character's peak condition or peak build, yeah, on paper is going to be better, but in practice, some characters that are theoretically worse are going to feel better and are going to be less risky to play and build for your account, for your experience. So that's my 2 cents. I hope you like this. Actually, I'm going to put Verina above this guy. Okay, bye. Just out of spite. That's not even true because I don't like Verina. Okay, bye.